So with regards to mentorship, it more has to do with experience sharing. So like somebody sharing their experience to you, or sort of there are so many ways of mentorship. Like sometimes people mentor you without actually knowing that they are mentoring you. It depends on the particular situation. So corporate wise, home wise, because if you come to look at our homes, our mothers mentor us without even knowing that they are mentoring us. Like as young as 7 years as a girl, they're already teaching you how to stare TZ. You know, they're already teaching you how to sweep. You know, sometimes you're holding the broom and your mother is saying, you don't hold the broom like a lady. You know, like these are like mentorship. They are not, it's not like they give you a pamphlet or like theories on how to practical these things, but like you are seeing your mother doing it and you are learning those things. Nobody teaches us how to tie scarf. I don't think any of us here, somebody sat us down to teach us how to tie our duku or our hijab. We actually learn it just like as you are growing up, going to the mosques. Like, you know, these are like basic things that we learn. So that's like a bit of like the mentorship. In terms of leadership, usually it's more on taking the lead, like taking the step for other people to follow. So if you look at it from a corporate perspective, or we are looking at it from even our lay perspective, I don't want us to think about it from the theories. Like we can look at it from like the big theories on defining leadership. I just want us to come to our level because of the conversation we want to have. Am I making sense? Yeah. So in light of sharing mentorship and leadership, I will talk about corporate-wise, office, organizational-wise, how leadership is very important for us to learn, whether the person is offering to you, especially as a woman. And then I also talk about home-wise, in terms of mentorship, what are the things, in terms of our community, who are the people we should be looking out for, like we should be looking up to, or what are the things that we should look out, like we should look out in a person to call the person our mentor. Am I making sense? I'm going to make it very simple. So the conversation is all of us, we are all going to talk. Like I want to make it as conversational as possible. So sharing perspective of mentorship. First and foremost, how do you find a mentor? Who do you like look up to say this is who I want to be like, or what are the things that you need to look at to like say this is like somebody I want to take as my mentor? It could be formal, it could be informal. One, let's look at it from our community. There are people usually in our communities that when we are growing up, we all know the person, maybe our neighbor's daughter, who happened to be Aisha. She was just in the neighborhood, we're all seeing her. Then all of a sudden, she goes to high school and come back, and we've seen difference. Like, she's not like us anymore. Like, the person is completely different and all that, you know. Sometimes we don't say it to them, but we know that this person has changed. There's something just different about a person. One thing I always say as a young lady is try as much as possible to have conversations with people. You only know what somebody is going through if you have that conversation. That's the only way you can actually learn. Like when you have conversation with a person. Sometimes the conversation, because we all have been in that situation where I feel like I want to talk to this particular person, but I don't even know what to say. Like I come to you and I greet you and all that, and the next thing I don't know how to like push the conversation forward to probably learn or tease out something that I want to ask, right? So there are so many ways to go about that. And then when we look at the formal setting, being it you are an intern in a particular office, or you just finished, maybe you are doing national service, or you are actually working. Look out for the people in your office who are very efficient. What is that one thing that they are doing that is making them efficient? Sometimes it's as little as how nice the person sends emails. That's how you also learn. And then you can go to them and ask them, because crafting an email is not a joke, especially if sometimes you want to be very professional. You don't want to send the email and you sound rude. You don't want to also send the email and sound like you don't know what you are about, you know. So like sometimes you're just in between. Sometimes we finish university and these are things they don't teach us, like Google Docs. In the university, nobody will sit you down to teach you all those things. And I like when Mary was talking, she mentioned something about when you get into the role, there are times that people will not teach you. You have to learn on the role. How do you learn on the role? Yes, you can read books. Yes, you can Google and all those things. But it won't be as if somebody is taking you through, or you've actually seen somebody doing it. You know. So you as an individual, that you would have to take a step back, take your time and follow somebody in the job that you know knows the work and understand the work. And then all sort of nonsense to it will come with it. That's the challenges that comes with like learning in terms of mentorship, like just putting yourself attached to someone and learning. It comes with it, especially if it is not like a formal mentorship. If it's a formal mentorship, that's when maybe let's say Binta has agreed to mentor Farida. an example, Minda has agreed to mentor Farida. She would have like a once in a while session where she would ask Farida, where do you want to see yourself? What are the things that you need to do? Then the person can now offer maybe opportunities that can help you to expose you, you know. In those ones, they are like very formal conversations where like once in a while you are meeting up with a person and the person is including you, the person is going for a meeting, the person is carrying you along. I mentor, so Plan Ghana runs a program. It's called the Mentorship Academy, and then I usually mentor some young girls. And these are girls who are like finishing high school and some like going to the university. So it's easy for me to pass my experience on because I have finished those stages. Like at least I can be able to tell from high school, when you finish, you don't even know what you're about. Me, when I was going to university, I didn't know what course. They asked me what course I wanted to read. I didn't know. All I wanted to do was to become a journalist. And my father said, no. Journalist as a woman and as a Muslim girl, you are exposed to a lot of things. Then, those days, like it was as if you are exposed to a lot of things and the money too was not so lucrative and all that, you know. But when we are finished, and this is the challenges we have in our schools, when we are finishing high school, nobody takes you through career guidance. They don't tell us, if you go and do this course, when you finish, these are the potential. Nobody will tell you all those things. You have to figure them out by yourself. And some of us, we actually choose courses because your parents are saying, go and do nursing, or go and do psychology, or go and do this business, you know. And you are just doing it because you want to go to school, because your friends are going to school and you don't want to sit, you know. So that's like some of those things. But as soon as you get into those spaces, what do you also, like, what do you now, like how do you now craft your own self? So here we are. I don't think anybody is below 18 years in this room. Our parents have coached us. We've seen all the challenges that has happened in our communities. Like there's been lack of opportunities for us, especially in like within our communities and all that. And the worst part of it, Muslim girl, that's the worst. Like that's even the worst part of it. Like before you get into a room, you know, you are always like backwards to everybody. But how do you put yourself out there? Who do you look up to? How do you even get these mentors, right? So I will always say you look at it from an angle of what is it that you want to do in your career. Jadal came to speak here. She's an entrepreneur. You can't be wanting to be a diplomat and then you want to be talking to Jadal. That's just there's misplaced priority there. Because she's going to be talking about business and how to get money. But in your case, probably you want to be a diplomat. You should be looking out for people that can expose you to opportunities that can align with where you want to get to. Am I making sense? So one first step is finding the right people and finding your own potential that can align with what the person can like pass on to you. And so if you look at it from an angle of also corporate setting, I already gave an example where in the office you are finding the person who is very efficient and tapping from that person. It comes with a lot of challenges. Sometimes people will make you feel stupid, especially in the corporate settings when you don't know things. May I send emails to my boss? My boss will read the mail. He will come back to the office and read it to the entire office and ask me that if they have sent me this, will I be happy? They will make you feel stupid, but it's a learning curve for you. Like all you have to just agree is that, okay, I actually don't know. I really want to learn. And once you don't know and you really want to learn, you want something from that person, right? So you will just be following the person small, and then opening up. When I look back to the PowerPoint that I used to create like 5 years or 10 years ago, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this, sorry. Is this the things that I used to create? Like, I can't even believe that I used to like design PowerPoints like this. But with time, you will learn, and then you adjust. And I didn't just learn on my own, to be honest. Like, I learned from people, and I observed, like, from people. Dressing, talking, they're all parts of things we can learn in terms of relating it to mentorship. Even the way you talk. You want to be out there. Sometimes the way you even tie your duku. I'm telling you that as a Muslim girl, already when you come out, there's already that discrimination because you have that hijab on. They're already looking at you like zero. So you have to be like extra 2 steps ahead as compared to the girl who is not in hijab. So you have to already prove yourself. So that when you start to speak, people say, oh, you know, there's that stereotypes on Muslim girls that we are krife and we cannot speak, we don't really know so much, you know. So already you have to now like raise your legs like 2 times. So it just means that you have to put in more energy as compared to somebody who is not like that, you know. And these are all things that you need to pick up from the person you call your mentor, the way the person talks. So mentorship too, you don't have to limit yourself. The example I gave with Jadal, yes, you want to be a diplomat. But you can probably learn some few things from Jadon in terms of maybe her kind of network. You can tap from it and then be telling her that these are the things that you want to do. Oh, I want to be a diplomat. You've traveled a lot. How do I apply for Dubai visa? How do I apply for this? You know, she can take you through those aspects, but you don't go to her talking about entrepreneurship, because whatever information she will give to you, it becomes useless to you. But you will now know what are the things that you want from Jadon. You don't need like everything that she has to do, but you just find some few things that you need to tap from her. Am I making sense? I'll pause here. I said that I wanted the conversation to be as engaging as possible. I'll stop here. If somebody has any question or...
Hafiz TV, unique every day.